when you go through customs, they're really horrible to you. Like, you know, security and customs are horrible. And I remember thinking, fuck New York, I hate it. And then once you get in and you're like, oh my God, this is the most amazing, it's just the most amazing city in the world.
And is there a favourite city you've been to?
Favourite city? New York.
Yeah, amazing.
New York. I've been 3 times. One of them, the first time I ever went, that was actually for work. Actually, the first time I ever went again. And I stayed there for 3 weeks doing the US Open tennis. And we stayed a little bit longer after. So
That's
basically
a gig.
I was there for a month. And my God, it was a gig. Boiling hot, incredible. I stayed on just because I loved New York. I don't know whether it's because I watched American TV when I was younger, like Friends, that when I landed in New York, I felt so familiar with it. It felt nostalgic. It was really strange. And I was walking down the streets and I was like, yeah, I feel like I've been here before. And then every time I went back for holidays, I just felt like if there was anywhere else in the world I was ever going to live, apart from Australia, which now has been replaced, it was New York. It was so busy. I remember landing there and thinking that when you go through customs, they're really horrible to you. Like, you know, security and customs are horrible. And I remember thinking, fuck New York, I hate it. And then once you get in and you're like, oh my God, this is the most amazing, it's just the most amazing city in the world and everything. And like, you know, we did all the tourist attractions and, you know, it was just, I loved it. I would go back in a heartbeat. I think it's, by far my favorite city.
Yeah, I went to New York as well with my girlfriend and we were there for 3 nights and I've got so many memories from that trip. It kind of felt like we were there for about a week. Just such an amazing place.
Yeah, because you have to get it all in, don't you? Yeah. You're like, oh, we have to do this. We have to do Rockefeller. We have to go and see, what's her face? Who is she?
Statue of Liberty. And I was getting recommendations from Seb, like a colleague of ours, like, oh, you have to go to this pizza place and stuff like that.
Oh my, yeah. There's not enough time to do everything that you want to do there. I took my best mate there for her birthday. There were 4 of us girls, and we had we rented out these like suites in this hotel room. And I remember I left my phone in the cab on the way to the hotel from the airport. So for the first night, I was phoneless. But my God, it was like, I'm free. I was like, I can't do anything. I can't speak to anyone. I'm just with the girls. And it was just like, it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Yeah. It's definitely, New York is by far my favorite.
If I had to push you and ask you city breaks or beach holidays, and you can only do one for the rest of your life, what would you say?
You set that one in there, didn't you? Shit. For the rest of my life. Shit. Do you know what? I'm actually going to say city because I love the beach, obviously. And that's mean of you to make me take that out of the rest of my life. But I'm definitely a city girl. And also in a city, you can have a river.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you're cheating the system a little bit.
I did, didn't I? I do. I think, like the River Thames, for example, there is something about, like, I live on the River Thames, not like a goblin, you know, not like under the bridge or something like an ogre, but I live basically next to the River Thames. I went to uni in Kingston, which is on the River Thames, and I don't know where it's come from, but I've always had a bit of an affinity with it. I don't know. When I was little, I used to live in Liverpool Street Station. My dad was a policeman at that station, and we lived in the flats above it. So for about 3 years, and it might not even been 3 years, but when I was like 2, I remember growing up in the city of London. That was my home. And I remember everything. That might be why I like New York so much, because everything when I was little was huge, all the buildings. And sometimes, like, I'll find myself walking through Liverpool Street Station now, and I'm around there a lot now. I work around there. And I still get this little, like, I get this little feeling like I'm a little kid again. And I remember it so much. So I think being around the river and being around the city feels very homely to me. So yeah, I think city breaks.